Hi everyone, today's video is another one of my watercolor speed paints, and today it's kind of different because it's on Watercolor Canvas, which I didn't know existed until I walked into the craft store and then saw it, and I wasn't really sure how it would really work out. And so I got a panel. It's really interesting to work on, actually. This watercolor canvas, it's primed, so I didn't really have to do anything to prep for the painting. All I really did was just start painting on it, but when I started, I realized that the canvas, compared to paper, canvas definitely doesn't hold as much water, so it doesn't absorb water as quickly or as much. So if you want to paint on this canvas, what you have to do is paint on it and then kind of wait for it to soak into the canvas, and then add more and more layers. And so the canvas, I think what's good about it is that you can actually, if you mess up, you can easily kind of just wipe away the paint, and then you can start over easier. The hardest and most time-consuming part of the painting was definitely the flowers, because what I do is I have one brush that I would dip directly into paint, and then I would have another brush that kind of pulls out the concentrated part into like the lighter section of the petals, and then I would have another brush of just water, and then I would just kind of blend it all out. And so I'm constantly holding like 3 paintbrushes in my hand, and then I'm alternating every single petal. And so also, because the canvas doesn't soak in water that often, it's kind of just hard not to just keep painting and then having everything accidentally blend together. But overall, I really like the canvas. It has a very nice and polished look with it, and it doesn't, like, the paper doesn't warp, obviously, because it's a canvas. So I feel like it's really handy and it's sturdy, and I can set it up on an easel, or I could just lay it flat on my table. And so here I am just painting like 4 more flowers that took absolutely forever to do. And then I would just keep going over and over, layer and layer. I would use, I think the pink was permanent rose, and then I would use like a violet. And then later on you'll see that I didn't record it, but I went over with orange. And I think that the canvas makes it very transparent, the paint. And so it's just easier to keep on layering more and more colors on top. And then here for the hair, I originally decided to make it pink, but then it didn't really stand out as much, especially if you compare it to the flowers, and she's also kind of like her skin tone's kind of pink. So after I did the first layer of pink, I was saying that I shouldn't go any darker. Like, I shouldn't go with like more pink, because it doesn't really, it just kind of like, it's just too much pink and it would just blend in. So I decided to make it kind of brown, and then afterwards you can see that I added like darker browns and then some blacks, just to make sure that, you know, the hair like stands out from like everything else that's going on. And I feel like it's kind of plain because I didn't add a background, but I don't know if I will add one because I kind of wanted to start a new piece, and it's also kind of difficult to paint large washes over this canvas. Like, I'm still not really sure exactly how you're supposed to use this canvas properly. And so I think I will experiment with the next one, and hopefully I will post a new video soon because I don't do it that often. But this is what I finished with, and it's a close-up of the flower petals and her skin and all the layers that it took to paint this. And I know the proportions are kind of off, but this is what it looks like in the end. So thank you so much for watching.